So you kind of touched on this in your intro, but this business came out of a breakup on a sticky note.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this. Talk to me about this a little bit. How did this all happen?
Well, so my ex used to leave me these sticky notes around his apartment, and they would say cute things like "you, I love you more than all of the stars in the universe," or "you're." He had some really silly ones. He was like, "You're my favorite little tomato," because he like loved tomatoes. But he'd put them like everywhere, like in the coffee maker in the morning. So I'd open it and it would be like in there, or like in the fridge, like in a carton of eggs. And then I was like, well, I want to get in on this action. So I started leaving him sticky notes, but mine were more like ridiculous and sort of R-rated. Not all R-rated, but just kind of ridiculous. Like I had one that was like, "You make me want to shave my legs." You know, "I love you like a crack whore loves crack." Things like that. And so he was laughing at him. He stayed with the more romantic stuff, but I just kept going. And I started making a list on my phone of like potential future ideas. Cause we really got into this whole sticky note thing, but you know, then things got a little rocky, and, he like broke up with me on a sticky note. He left like all my stuff in my apartment with a sticky note. And we were like about to move in together too. And,
oh man.
So like all my stuff and just sticky notes said, "I can't do this." And at the time I flew into a rage and was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to like kill you," but not literally, obviously, of course. But I was just going crazy. So I feel like I need to put that disclaimer out there. So he's also 6'3", so I don't think that would have happened. But I just got so mad. I threw all the notes in the trash, which, except for one, which I found later. But, so anyway, fast forward, we're broken up, and I was looking at my phone and I was like, but I have so many good ideas. Like, these are great. Like, what am I going to do with these future sticky note ideas? So then I was like, well, what if I put them on greeting cards? And so I made greeting cards. I put them on Etsy. I knew nothing about business, about Photoshop, you know, how to design, like absolutely nothing. So I designed them on Microsoft Word, which seems ridiculous now. And I actually printed them out and photographed them. Like, I didn't know you could just make a mock-up on Photoshop. So I photographed every single card, like had a full-on photo shoot, and then uploaded them to Etsy. And it took me like forever, but they started selling kind of right away. And then I got a feature in Cosmo like 4 months later. And then I ended up in Ricky's, which is a big chain store in New York. Wow. And they bought for like 25 stores or something like that. They did a test run and then they bought for 25 stores. So yeah, that's how I started. And I feel like it just sums up my whole thing of taking something negative and kind of laughing about it. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean, for one, I'm sorry that happened. That's terrible that it all happened.
Okay, it's great now.
But yeah, it's awesome that you're able to turn that negative into a positive and create this business out of it now. So when you were writing these sticky notes, there was no idea of a business. It was just you were jotting down sticky note ideas. Just
like no concept of like starting a business at all. I didn't even think like I had any business acumen in me, really. Mm-hmm. I just didn't even, it was like the furthest thing from my mind.
That's crazy. So, okay. You said you had no design, no experience at all going into this. How did you start producing these things? Obviously you made them in Word, you said, but then how did you get them all printed and shipped out to the customers?
So I was doing everything from home initially. I, Googled like best printers for cardstock. I mean, Google was like my best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. It still is, honestly. And just bought a printer and I got like different samples of cardstock and envelopes and cellophane and started just like testing them out. And then I ordered cardstock. I learned a lot about cards and cardstock. Like, it was crazy. Like, I knew more about paper than I ever thought I was going to know. And like, some people like cut their own paper and then you can buy them pre-cut and stuff like that. So I just started doing that at home and shipping everything through Etsy. I mean, all my sales were through Etsy, and I was like kind of doing like the labels and everything through them. Mm-hmm. And then when I got into Ricky's, I was like, all right, I can't produce this myself. So I Googled, I think just printers, like and paper printer or whatever, sign printer. And literally contacted like people all over the United States and finally found a printer that I liked, and they seemed reasonably priced, so I went with them.
And you're talking like outsourcing, like
for the wholesale orders, for like the big ones. I was still doing that Etsy ones by myself.
So when you got those big orders, like what were the quantities that they were trying to get from you?
I would say Ricky's was probably ordering maybe like 50 cards per store, or they would come in sets of 6, so probably like 48 or something like that. And then for the holiday rush, a little more, so it'd be like 48 cards times 20 stores. But then the thing about them is they each, I'm trying to remember, they had like specific, like there was a little bit of logistics in it, so it was kind of like out of my scope about like putting the label a certain way and shipping it to a certain location, like writing the store number on it. So, the good thing about having a printer was that they were a little more versed in that kind of stuff. They just needed a little bit of direction from me, but they were able to take care of it